Keir Starmer faces a major threat as his political future and the stability of the Labour Party grows shakier than ever. In just over 100 days of leadership, he has sparked fierce backlash from within his own party and deep disappointment among the British public. Could this be a sign of the impending collapse of a fragile administration? In this video, we will analyse these shocking developments. Before diving into the details, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. The Labour Party is currently witnessing rising discontent among its MPs, highlighted by a string of internal issues. Recently, MP Rushanara Ali resigned, creating a public stir. Although she did not disclose specific reasons, many analyses suggest her departure stems from dissatisfaction with Keir Starmer's leadership and policies that stray from the party's core values. Under Starmer's leadership, the Labour Party seems to be in disarray, especially as a senior minister resigns within the first term, revealing instability within his leadership team. In this context, another senior minister openly opposed Starmer's policy of raising school taxes, emphasising that this move would negatively impact communities across the UK. Not only did she reject the tax hike, but she also publicly expressed concern that the party's current policies are veering away from the traditional values that Labour should uphold. This dissent reflects a deepening rift within the party, a divide Starmer seems either unwilling or unable to mend. Amid this wave of instability and growing public pressure, the likelihood of an investigation into Starmer's leadership is increasing, potentially even forcing him to consider stepping down. Even the Labour Party's deputy leader is currently facing a police investigation, further intensifying the pressure on the party leadership. This situation warrants media attention, as public disappointment grows over Starmer's failure to uphold his initial promises, especially regarding representation of the British public's interests. Public frustration is mounting as Starmer's personal wealth has made him seem out of touch with the real hardships that people are facing, particularly during a cost of living crisis. This disillusionment only deepened with his continuous acceptance of political donations, creating a sense that he speaks for the working class but acts in his own self-interest. His recent proposal to cut senior benefits has further ignited public outrage, as retirees may lose up to £300 per year, exacerbating the backlash. Starmer's decision to raise school taxes has not only drawn resistance from parents and teachers, but has also created division within the Labour Party itself. Rachel Reeves and other MPs have publicly criticised this policy, arguing that it directly harms the communities the party is supposed to protect. This policy has not only eroded public trust, but has also cost Starmer the loyalty of party members. Consequently, Labour has dropped in the polls, losing its edge over the Conservative Party after many years. Beyond this, Starmer is also facing strong opposition from farmers regarding a new agricultural subsidy policy, which they argue directly threatens their livelihoods and could drive up food prices. These reforms have intensified dissatisfaction among a traditional Labour voter base, placing the party at risk of losing support in rural areas. The discord between Starmer's policies and the public's interest signals major challenges in the upcoming election. These repeated blunders have only fueled the public's desire for a new leader, someone who can act decisively while maintaining integrity. Labour's declining poll numbers reflect not only political failure, but also the public's anger and disillusionment, underscoring the urgent need for change. An internal Labour analysis has even warned that the current policies could lead to thousands of deaths, increasing public alarm about the severe consequences of Starmer's decisions. Meanwhile, Starmer's agricultural subsidy reforms continue to raise concerns about their potential negative impact on farmers' livelihoods and heightened difficulties for households across the UK. Farmers, long-standing pillars of Labour's support, now feel abandoned. From loyal supporters to ordinary voters, widespread disappointment is evident, underscoring the need for leadership reform so the party can return to its core values and meet public expectations. Recent events within the Labour Party, from Rushanara Ali's departure to Rachel Reeves' strong reactions, are not just isolated incidents. They are part of a deeper crisis brewing within the party. Many observers within the party warn that if these issues are not decisively addressed by Starmer, a wave of discontent will continue to spread, potentially leading to more MPs confronting or leaving the party. As pressure from voters increases, Starmer's colleagues are increasingly faced with the choice between loyalty to a leader who is under scrutiny and their true responsibility to their constituents. For many MPs, this choice is no longer simple. A bold move could be to openly support calls for Starmer's resignation, a difficult decision, yet one that sends a clear message no leader can afford to ignore. Grassroots party members, once unwaveringly loyal, are now beginning to publicly express their dissatisfaction. Local meetings, which were previously venues for expressing support, have turned into battlegrounds of sharp criticism, reflecting the disillusionment and loss of trust that are spreading through the party ranks. Voters are concerned that Starmer seems to lack the capability and vision necessary to revive a party with great potential. In these meetings, activists and party members are demanding clearer policies that address pressing issues such as healthcare, housing, and education, factors that directly affect the daily lives of citizens. What was once sporadic dissent has now evolved into a widespread wave of discontent, threatening the cohesion of the Labour Party and posing a risk to the foundational unity that has traditionally been its strength. With the party conference approaching, pressure is mounting on Starmer to demonstrate his leadership ability. He needs to clearly show that he can steer the party through this difficult phase, rebuild trust, and reconnect with both MPs and grassroots members. Failing to do so could result in Labour facing a thorough purge, with internal power struggles leaving deep and lasting scars. The media has not shied away from this narrative, depicting Starmer's leadership in biting headlines that highlight internal conflict and calls for his resignation. The media attention amplifies every mistake Starmer makes. Pressure from the press inadvertently creates an image of a leader who has lost control of the situation. Recent surveys have painted an increasingly bleak picture, showing that public confidence in Starmer's ability to lead the Labour Party to victory in the next election is waning. Many voters are yearning for change, seeking a new direction that can meet the realities of modern Britain. What is even more concerning is that for the first time in years, some traditional voters are considering shifting their support to other parties with values more aligned with their own. If this trend continues, the Labour Party will face a serious threat, as losing the trust of loyal voters could become a critical weakness in the next election. In the face of this discontent, some veteran members have strongly urged a return to the party's core values: social justice, economic equality, and genuine empowerment of communities. They argue that Starmer's pragmatism and centrism have diluted the original ideals, leaving many former Labour supporters feeling alienated. Starmer now stands at a challenging crossroads. If he truly wants to retain his leadership position, he must urgently confront the grievances and address the legitimate demands of both MPs and voters. Strengthening his connection with the public to understand their concerns is essential. Additionally, rebuilding trust within the party through open dialogue will be an effective way to combat the growing tide of discontent. Moreover, Starmer must articulate a vision that is not only clear, but also compelling, linking the history of the Labour movement with the current expectations of the people. To achieve this, he needs to take bold steps on key issues such as climate change, economic equality, and enhancing public health, issues that voters genuinely care about. The upcoming phase will pose a significant challenge for Starmer, as failing to turn the situation around and prove his leadership capabilities will lead to an escalating chorus of calls for his resignation. What do people think about the issues we have discussed in today's video? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest political developments in the UK. Thank you all, and see you in the next videos.